everyone. Good afternoon from Australia, and good morning, good evening, wherever you are dialing in from today. So, welcome to another live session of Strength-Based Leadership Community Group. Thank you for joining the session today. So, I think we would like to just take a quick photo, and I will do that. So, if you can, if it's possible to show your face, that would be great with
Like
this, maybe with a smile.
green screen. Okay. Novi, I can see that you are
I think
there.
she's dropped off. Yes,
Okay,
she's not
so
here.
Novi,
So you're gonna have to do it as a,
okay. Do I just take
I
a
can do it.
screenshot?
Yes, screenshot. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I had somebody trying to contact me. So.
Should we pose such as,
One sec, I'll take
cool?
it so you don't have to.
uh,
If
gallery.
I'll just wait. Oh, we got maybe there.
You
I
got the
mean, I should
gallery?
do a quick intro. So we got Onda, and myself. Novi, she's the VA for so
And
she's
us?
dialing in from Philippines. But she's not having great connection today. So apparently there is a cyclone
Some storm
coming
happening.
over in Philippines. So she's been just in and out. Can we, I don't know, Aruni and Zimena, if I have pronounced it right. If you're able to turn on your camera, that's fine. Otherwise, that would be good. Otherwise, that's not a problem.
Aruni said she can listen only, so I think
Only,
looks like
okay.
she can't.
All right, I'll just
Zimena,
make it. All right, we're ready, guys.
all good.
Um,
Jimena is my sister.
Jimena.
okay.
She Colombia, from Colombia.
Okay.
I don't know. She's shy today. Doesn't wanna see us. Let's
Good.
see.
We actually have people joining from different parts there. So that's
Yeah, that's fantastic.
okay. All right, so let's jump in. We're 8 minutes into the session.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks again, everyone, for joining. So for today's session, topic is the power of presence, leading yourself before leading others. So we'll be focusing on cultivating presence, self-awareness, and intentionality as the foundation of mindfulness leadership, while also exploring practical techniques to build personal resilience, manage stress, and navigate complexity. So I'd like to just start the session by acknowledging, the land of acknowledgement. I would like to start with the acknowledgement of a country. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land we are meeting today, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. So if I can also ask everyone to please briefly introduce yourself in the chat. You can state your name, where you're dialing in from. That would be great. Thank you. So we always like to, start by, a quick mindfulness session. So for today's mindfulness session, so if I can invite you all to just take a quick moment to ground yourselves to stay fully present. And if you can bring to mind one intention you'd like to set for today's session. It could be to stay open, to learn, to connect, or simply to just be present, in the moment. So while if you could just take a deep breath, as you hold that intention and exhale and free yourself ready to engage fully in the session. So let's take that moment, give it a minute or two, and let's do that. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Hopefully you've got that intention set for the session. All right, so with that, I'd like to move to our next session, conversation with our guest speaker today. So our guest for today is our very own, I know her personally, Diana Latour. So just quickly about Diana, Master Diana's journey began in Bogota, Colombia, where she was raised by a very hardworking single mother who taught her the values of discipline and determination. With a bachelor's degree in physical education and black belts in kickboxing and taekwondo, she has dedicated her life to martial arts as an athlete, teacher, and international referee with WACO. Now based in Australia, she's the founder and director of Latour Sports Australia, leading programs that empower women, promote inclusion, and support individuals with disabilities. In 2021, she was introduced into the Australasian Martial Arts Hall of Fame and now serves on its board of directors, continue to inspire others through her passion and leadership. So welcome, Diana, to our session. It's our pleasure to have you here, and thank you for accepting our invitation to be here today.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for the invite. And again, for me, it's an honor to be on here with you guys and sharing my experiences and and learning from each other. That's a great. Thank you.
Thank you. So with that, I'll pass it on to Om. So he's going to be having the conversation with our guest, Master Diana, today. So over to you, Om.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sara, and a very, very warm welcome to everyone to this Strength-Based Leadership Community Group. We really are very privileged to have you all join this session and learn from each other. I see a lot of new faces, so I might really quickly talk about why this Strength-Based Approach Leadership Community Group. I think mainly for three reasons. Firstly, as you see, developments everywhere here in Australia and overseas, we live in a world that often highlights what divides us, what's different from us, and what divides us, why people are fighting with each other. We at Strength-Based Leadership Community Group believe in something more powerful. And that's what unites us is far stronger than what divides us. We focus on what's common. Like I live in a place called Fairwater. We talk about, what do we love about Fairwater? We love our children to be walking around with, and playing with each other. We want our elderly parents to be walking around safely, feeling loved and cared for. We want a green Fairwater. We want a clean Fairwater. That's all common. We start with that. And then whatever differences we have, I live in a council called Blacktown City Council. We have people from 188 different countries of birth, and we speak 182 languages. How diverse can it be? We start with that diversity, we will be going everywhere. But then we focus on what's common. And then we bring our diversity on top to add to the richness of who we are as a society. Secondly, if you see everywhere, like we talk about problems and needs, what's broken. And at the heart of this community leadership group, we have a simple but a powerful idea. We want to move from a need-based approach to a strength-based approach. We focus on what we already have. We focus on our skills and our strengths. We focus on what the community already has and build from it. We look at what's already working well and do more of it. So it's about moving from a need-based approach to a strength-based approach. We don't ignore needs and problems. We still address them, but by focusing on strengths. So we flip the approach. And finally, if you look at the problems and, like the challenges in our communities, they are multidimensional and they're very complex. And not a single person not even Elon Musk with all his money would be able to, solve this problem alone. Not a single sector or a single organization could do this. So the Strength Leadership Community Group exists just for that, to, provide a platform for people to collaborate. It's your platform. It also, allows you to focus on your personal and professional development. But at the same time, it's a platform, it's an avenue for cross-sectoral collaboration where we can work together and address challenges together. So very briefly, that's why we exist. And we want you to focus on, like leverage this platform for your personal and professional development, and also explore what opportunities you can create to collaborate across communities and across sectors with grassroots community leaders, etc. So with those words, I'll come back to Diana. Diana, again, thank you so much. And I might straight jump onto it because we've lost quite a bit of time already. I want you to, I was talking to you the other week, and I see that you've got a fascinating journey. So can we start with that? Tell us a little bit about your own journey, and then also share a moment when cultivating presence, coming back to today's topic, the power of presence and leading yourself before leading others. So please tell us a brief about yourself, and then share a moment when cultivating presence really helped you navigate a challenging situation. Over to you, Diana.
Thank you. Okay, so I was born in Bogota, Colombia, and I moved to Australia 20 years ago. I'm the youngest of a family of five, and I'm the youngest, and my mom, single mom since I was born. Very hard working hard mom, and I think that everything is at the beginning of the introduction of myself is, I think everything that I have learned was the way how I was raised, and 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 the reason being vulnerable at home, where again is where we raised by a single mother. She always was trying to find a way how keep her children active while she was working, and that's the way how I joined a martial arts school, and that was again that was despite her possibilities, she always finding the way how keep us busy learning stuff, and always trying to find free activities and for the local communities and stuff, and that's the way how I started doing martial arts since I was 8. So I'm nearly turning 50. So I've been in martial arts for nearly 42 years of my life. So again, that's been the way of life. And martial arts is not only practicing and learning techniques, it's a way of life. And that's the way how my life has been since, I'm facing challenges, yes, all the time. As I said at the beginning, I think everybody face challenges. And that's but again, because we're used to that, so we always want to be more challenged. And again, so I finished my physical education degree in Bogota, Colombia. And then I said, okay, what I want to do next is, okay, that's now, okay, what's next? And, okay, that's when I thinking to start doing moving to a different country and learn a new language. And that's the reason I came to Australia. And people ask me why in Australia, no US, which is closer, or Canada, or England. And again, it was very hard for me to leave the country because not being able to work somewhere else. So I have to find a place where I could study and work at the same time to pay back everything that I got from me to come to Australia. So that's the way. That's why I came to Australia. So because I was able to achieve everything, which means working and studying at the same time.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I think what I love is, like, you had different options to go to different countries. And thank you for choosing to come to Australia, because Australia is a little more richer by your presence here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, can you tell us, give us some what are some practical mindfulness or presence techniques that you use to stay grounded and resilient, having achieved so much, like tell us, share some practical, mindfulness or, presence techniques that you use.
Yeah. No, I think with time, after that learning journey and still going,
Yeah.
with time, as you age as well, you become wiser in
Yeah.
terms of making choices
Mm-hmm.
and better than, like I used to be like concerned about to work to sort everything out, but now I'm more trying to be grounded and said, okay, let's focus on what is important.
Mm.
And that's, I think, the most important thing, and also something that I teach every day. So find a purpose. So
Mm.
everything has a purpose. If I go there are challenges, but if there is a purpose, there will be always a way to go. So
Mm.
have that clear from one moment.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, this is the purpose that I want to achieve with this activity or whatever I'm doing. And always try focus on the purpose, and then everything comes along. Okay, I made the decision. Okay, that comes with part of my purpose or not. Okay, choice, go that way or go that way. So it's all
Mm.
about making decisions and also trying to find a way that follows the purpose.
Okay.
So, and that's what keeps me grounded and keeps me resilient,
Thank,
and believing that there is a power up there
yes.
that always,
Mm-hmm.
always, all challenges are for a reason. you know I
Mm.
used to think, okay, most of the time, why me, what does it happen to me,
Yeah.
why no, you know and I
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, now after a while I understand the challenges or all the difficult situation will come, has a purpose, there is a reason why they happen, and always, okay, why, and that's what I'm trying to find when something is difficult, and that keeps me grounded and challenged and resilient.
I think such a powerful message for all of us, because you know we all face challenges, and we ask that why me, why not somebody else, or why it has to happen to me all the time. And as you say, things happen for a reason, and I guess they make you stronger and more resilient. So that's so powerful. Now, flowing from that, I think the word stress has become more of a shadow for us wherever we go. Like has, has to deal with stress all the time. And given your own journey, we would love to hear from you, in terms of how you manage stress while still staying, fully present for your team and your community that you work for.
Yeah, that's again, I think it's still work in process, you know,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
but I think as I'm now more enjoying the time,
Hmm.
my own company,
Okay.
my own company. So I enjoy go outside and have a coffee myself, you know.
Hmm.
I used to go, and I say always I need to find somebody who's gonna go with me. And I was actually, I used to remember that I if I sit down on a coffee shop by myself, everybody is gonna look at me and say, "What, that person is by themselves." I used to think that it's gonna be judge me. They're gonna be judging me,
Mm.
but I don't feel that way anymore
Okay.
because I'm working more in enjoying my own presence and my own company and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm trying to be to face those challenges, I said, okay, no, giving time to me, which is hard because I'm more a giver than like trying to give and give. Is now I'm also a mom. I
Mm-hmm.
got two children myself, and my husband, who is here as well with us today,
Okay.
and Ivan is my husband. So, yes. So it's like being. trying to find time for myself, which before was okay, no, I need to take care of the family, I need to take time for my children, I need to take time for husband, I need to time for the business, for everything that's happening. So it is hard. But now I think if I don't give time to me,
Mm-hmm.
which is again going for a coffee myself, go
Yeah.
for a walk, I go for a walk or go for a now I'm
Mm-hmm.
the gym, trying to do some exercising myself instead of all the time giving instruction and helping others. So now I'm helping myself first.
Mm.
And gym has given me now more physical strength, which I needed as well to be keep myself active. So joining the gym, go for walks, meditation, and breathing, go for a
Mm-hmm.
coffee myself. I like silence. I like peace environments, and that's what I always That's the way I always try to find that way to feel free myself again back
Mm.
before I go and help others. And always searching for that ways. Always, never ends. But now I'm giving more time for me. That's I think it's very important before we start giving time to others or helping
Yeah.
others.
Yeah. Very interesting that you say you like silence. That's very
Yeah.
powerful, I think. Like, a lot of times I remember myself, if I go back, 20 years, I'm a lot older now. I've lost my hair now. But if I go back 20 years, I used to be very scared of silence. I didn't like silence. But then after I got into this mindfulness and started my yoga practices and, meditation, etc. I enjoy my silence, so that's really powerful. So how do we, cope with yourself? I think that's really important because remember during COVID, we were scared of uh, staying home all the time, and before that, we sort of wanted time for our families to be together. And when we were together, we even had problems then. So every time, learn to be by yourself and learn to be comfortable with silence and to be with yourself. I think that's really powerful. So thank you for sharing that.
And I think another thing is learning to be still.
Mm.
And it's something that actually I teach every day, and it's how children is active and they want movement and they like to,
Yeah,
and also I change the way how I teach as well.
yeah.
Is because I used to say, okay, the lesson needs to be fun all the time. They need to be happy. They need to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy what they're doing. Since a couple of years back, I said, oh, you know what? That's not real. That's not life. That's not real life.
Mm.
Life is not always being happy. Life
Yeah,
is not always being having fun.
yeah.
And so so I changed the way I'm teaching as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, you need to learn. We need to learn to be still, being bored. It's
Okay.
okay to be bored. It's okay to be still. It's okay
Mm.
to do nothing.
Yeah.
So also is learning to be patient
Okay.
and getting that sort of awareness
Mm-hmm.
that being patient, waiting, um, and being still because nowadays everything is, happens so fast and you have to, everything needs to go in one time, in 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to find that grounded and being still and breathing and
Yeah.
and being aware of that. That's what I do in my own practice, and also that's what I'm trying to help others and teach others that it's okay. It's okay
Yeah.
to and is but this is because that's what I also need we need
Yeah,
we need to
exactly.
be still to be able to listen to
Mm.
others.
And especially in martial arts, I think to be still. I remember when I was, I wasn't very good at it, but when I was learning initially, when I was in my younger years, one of the things we were taught was to be still and, to be firm. And I think that's a great, you know, skill to have, I think, in your leadership journey as well. Now, this room or this platform comprises of leaders and change makers. Now, would you be able to share some thoughts on how these leaders and change makers can begin, integrating presence and resilience in their daily lives, even in small ways?
Yeah, so That's a
Just to,
very
just to,
very
yeah, just
powerful.
yeah. Like I think if you can share your thoughts and how can these leaders like who are present here today can begin integrating some this power of presence and resilience into their daily lives. How can they do that?
Yeah. So I think it is very important
Mm-hmm.
to be to show up,
Mm.
to show up
Yeah.
despite difficulties, challenges,
Uh-huh.
and sickness,
Yeah.
and because again, at the end of the day, we are role models,
That's right. Yeah.
and I would say this message could go to anyone, children or adults, whoever, whatever age, because it
Yeah.
applies to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is watching.
Yes.
So everybody's watching. Everybody's looking at you, what you do,
Mm-hmm.
and you wanna a role model is show up, even though you have difficulties. And as I said to the families of people who I teach,
Mm-hmm.
so people look at you more. They don't
Yeah.
listen to you. They look at you what you do.
That's so true. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and I think it's not only children. It's because they
Mm.
know that it's on everybody. So,
Yeah.
no, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Yeah.
So, and that's really a way how that's important that more than saying is your actions and showing up is very important because you always be
Mm.
there, and even though you have like challenging difficulties, and that's something that I remember in one of this at the beginning of a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I want to share something very quickly. A couple of years, 2 years ago, I have a
Okay.
knee operation, and that knee operation, I said, we want to have planned everything at the right time because it's gonna take a couple of months to recover, and I wanted to have it done in November, December, so we had December, January to recover, and then I start
Okay.
working again in February, and
Mm.
and and I said, okay, that's as you plan. And they
Mm.
said, oh, okay, that should be okay. We can have it done and start working in February as normal. And then, sadly or unfortunately, the got complicated. I got an infection, and then
Mm.
2 more operations after the infection. So it took like 6 months recovering. Instead of 2 months, took 6 months.
Uh,
So, and I was about to start a new year, and the business was going, and I said, how can I cope with family? How can I cope with the business with having these difficulties? And lucky, I always have people around me that gives me strength and support. I could
mm-hmm.
mention my husband, and there are another, my husband, my brother who is in US,
Mm-hmm.
and I got very strong people, team to support
Yeah.
me, and
Mm-hmm.
also have a master. Is not here today, but he's present all the time whenever I have a challenge as well. His name is Master Paul. He was the person who inducted me into the Astrologian Hall of Fame,
Mm.
and and he was there for so all of that for me, and even though so we keep running the sessions,
Yeah.
and but I couldn't teach. However, I was with with how you call
Mm.
it? How do you call it? The crutches. I used
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
crutches, but I was giving and communicating with the families and said, okay, for me it would be easier for to say, sorry, we cancel the session for 6 months, so I can know because it's a lot. It's a lot. I have to recover. I have two things to do at home. But I said, okay, no, that won't be the way to go. So the
Mm-hmm.
way is community telling people to know what's happening
Mm-hmm.
and showing up. Said here, this is what's happening, and we as a community, how we can help each other to for the benefit of our families. So
Mm.
that's the another way when I say showing up, doesn't matter how you, I mean, it's important what you are passing by, but
Mm-hmm.
if you are working as a community, you can be more present and being there for everybody, and they're gonna be bad for you too.
Thank you. That's fascinating. We would love to go on and have this conversation, but given interest of time, can you sort of share any final words, like that you have in terms of, one key insight, as to how people can lead themselves first before leading others.
Again, set time for yourself.
Mm,
It's like that there is an analogy, before if you wanna in an aeroplane,
yeah,
what do you need
yeah,
to do first? Put the mask to somebody else or put your mask for you and then you can help somebody else.
yeah. That's so
That's it.
true. Yeah,
So okay, same thing. Okay, if you are not good with yourself,
yeah,
you cannot help others. You
agree.
cannot. And
Right.
and and I think we also to be able to help others to
Mhm.
be so first I would say working very hard on our self-confidence and
Yeah.
our self-esteem.
Mm,
Um, when we work on self-esteem and self-confidence, then you say, okay, yes, now everything goes first to ourselves, and then
yeah.
goes to other people because you feel more confident to what you're doing and what you're saying.
Okay.
So I think it's more work on you.
Okay. Thank you. I think.
So definitely, and so you need to be good with yourself, and that way you can be good with to others as well. So a lot of work on ourselves, and we have to go back to our childhood and everything that has happened in our past,
Okay.
and that is a lot of work to do.
Mm,
And I think it's, but sometimes we feel that maybe we start a bit, starting we start quite late because we thinking that we are aware of that situation when you have
mm,
children, when you have family,
yeah.
but it should be greater when we start doing that work before before we are before in our before we get busier, because
Mm.
when we are busy we cannot work on ourselves.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm.
So I think this is such a good message to end on, because I think we always think that the problem is out there, somebody else is the problem. But I think your message here for us is like, you work on yourself first. Like if we work on ourselves first, I think the rest would be much easier to deal with, but if we start continue to blame others, the world out there, then we get into this vicious cycle. So thank you so much, Diana, for that. And with those final words, I'll hand it back to Sara, to have. And please, again, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and we'll have some breakout room sessions now. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please continue to drop them in the chat so that we can capture them, have a conversation afterwards.
Thank you. Thanks, Om, and thank you, Master Diana, for sharing such an inspiring stories there. And I was
Mm.
literally in awe there. I mean, I've known, Master Diana personally. I know her personally, but it's been a while. It's been years since we've stayed in touch,
Mm.
and I felt like you had I think so much wisdom in those years. I mean, not that I'm not trying to say you didn't have before. I always knew you had so much there, but we never had that level of that sort of time to, connect on that level. I'm glad that we could do that today in this session. So thank you again, Master Diana, for sharing your insights, your wisdom, your stories. So thanks again.
Oh, thank you,
So,
Sarah. I think it's a privilege for me to when you got the topic and say thinking of me, it's very important, and I appreciate that.
thank you.
No problem.
All
Pleasure.
right.
So yeah, like said, we're just gonna move quickly into breakout sessions, hopefully for 5 or 10 minutes. I'm sure like a lot of you would have questions for Master Dina, so please feel free to drop them in the chat box, and if time permits, we'll come back to those a bit later on. So in the breakout sessions, how many we've got? About 15. So we have about
17,
rooms. 16,
16.
okay.
Yeah. So,
So we
yeah.
have about we're gonna have we'll send randomly, to one of the breakout session rooms, And so if you can actually just discuss and share your thoughts about
Maybe 5 or 6 minutes,
five
so
or six
so that
minutes.
we've got more time
More
for
time
group
for later
interaction. I
on.
think that
So
would be more
yeah,
interesting.
we'll
So
just do
yeah,
a very quick
fine.
one.
Yeah.
If you can sort of talk about how you actually manage stress while still staying fully present for your team, your community, for your family, just generally, right? So how do you manage stress, while you still stay fully present?
Mm.
Okay, so that's the questions. If you can discuss that and share your thoughts, we'll come back to that. We'll probably give it about 6 minutes, okay?
Yeah. Very interesting question. How do you manage stress? We all want an answer to that.
It's an
Love to
interesting
hear your
one.
thoughts.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, welcome back, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hope you had an interesting conversation there about stress.
Did.
So if
Thanks, Jade, for
anyone
the
wants
thing. I
to,
got that.
okay,
I think everybody's
the floor
distressed
is
now.
yours. Feel free to share your insights, reflections, what you discussed. Go ahead.
Please feel free to share in the chat as well, and please unmute yourself, and you can share. And I think it looks like everybody is distressed now.
Everybody's stressed.
No, I really like the way in our breakout session. Sorry, my video. If I turn on my video, the network goes funny. So, it was really interesting in our session where I think Pushpa he mentioned that there's like sort of long term, like unmanageable stress and manageable stress, and people should not be scared to seek out for help if the stress is unmanageable. I really like that because obviously we talk about breathing, taking care of yourself, and being fit to reduce the stress and all that. But if you're in a situation where you can't control or the situation is making you stressed, then you should be really approaching for help, outside help, and no one should be scared to do that. Do you know what I mean? I really like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a very good point.
Mm.
Mumda, you want to say something?
No, I thought that was fantastic. Yeah.
No, that's a very good point because I think we do, and there's a lot of techniques and ways to manage stress, right? But sometimes the stress is such that it may not be manageable by yourself. So it's important to seek for help, right? So I mean, it could be joining sessions like this, it might help, who knows, well, that's sort of one of the intentions for us, about this group is to help people in a way to manage their stress as well, right? So there are ways, but yeah, always ask for help. Do never hesitate to do that. But yeah, thanks for that insights. Thanks for sharing that, Solani.
That's
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Anybody else please unmute and please
Yeah,
share.
I would like to mention something according
Yeah.
to what Soloni just said, and I think that's so true. You do have to ask for help sometimes. We all need that. This is the human beings. I think that's part of our natural state, and is
Yeah.
in a community with others, and we do need help to grow from the moment we're born. As we mature, and especially we're looking toward leadership over, I guess, in ourselves, and then so that we can have good relationships with others. So taking leaderships over ourselves and moving on to others. About help, asking for help, I think probably one of the most important things I've noticed with people and myself is the cultivating the ability to recognize when you need to ask for something. For example, when you are stressed out, and this really revolves around being in touch with your own emotions and understanding them, and that's one of the most important, I think, prerequisites for any kind of leadership role, whether we're talking about a parent, a manager, or just over yourself. Is emotions are running our minds.
Yes.
Can I say that? Emotions are running our minds, and so Funny to say, but it is true. And we have to be in touch with them, and we know what happens when we're not. We get off on these tangents and filled with vanities of all kinds, and we're never really free of that. We can't control emotion, this continual state of emotion. So being able to recognize that and admit it, I think is the first step. Is so important to that, and that only then I think can we start looking for the help we need and be able to listen to people and get it.
Yeah. No, that's very true as well. Like Wayne, what you said. Yes, I mean, you got to know when to ask for help as well, right? And there are so many emotions, and it sometimes takes over your life. And I didn't even, this book about Atlas of the Heart by Brené Brown. She talks about 108 emotions that human beings which you would not have thought that we go through that many emotions, right? So it sometimes there's so much emotions that you go through that it's important to recognize those, right? And yeah, I mean it's not always easy to recognize them as well, but but just being aware, I think is one of the ways to recognize those emotions. And that's why it's very important to just be aware and be in that moment. And a lot of the other practices, I'm sure a lot of us here have shared that in terms of how you manage those, the different practice that you apply to be aware and then to apply the techniques to manage them, right? So, but yeah,
I can actually see somebody who manages it really well, like works in a government department, and in a very busy environment, in a very tense sort of environment, a lot of times. Bala, I just want to pick on you, and if you had anything to share, your thoughts on this.
Thank you. Actually, I shared within our breakout room session. So I do meditation every day in the morning. And also I do yoga, try to do yoga at least twice a week. And of course, I'm always active in the sense play cricket during summer season, especially.
Okay.
And also, I think people say self-care. I also do soul care as well, as Master Diana mentioned. Not just self-care, it's all about the soul care and kind to yourself, kind to others as well.
Yeah, thank you. I think you got a lot more work to do in self-care. As through our conversation, I understand that you don't take care of yourself as much as you do others. So I think that's work in progress.
Yeah,
and I can see somebody else who does a lot of research in a very difficult sort of environment. Joey, like you do some amazing work. Anything you wanted to add? How you do this and how you keep smiling and do the work that you do.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tom. Hello, everyone. So with stress, for me, it's a little different. I just have to channel it in the right direction. So earlier, just going by the day, ticking off your to-do list was stressful. But when I started adding these little things, which were sort of fulfilling what I wanted to do before I went to bed, the things around community engagement, things around making a difference at my level, that little difference, a drop in the ocean. So for me, finding the direction to channelize my stress was very important. I do a lot of gardening as well. These are all the extra things. I'm a mom, I've got 3 beautiful children. So just trying to sort of deviate that energy, that buildup of stress towards something that, I felt pride in. I think that has helped me. Have I mastered it? No, I haven't. And with all other things around yoga and meditation, these are on my list. But hopefully one day when I'm over with my to-do list, I'll make some room and fit those in. But at the moment, I think it's fulfilling the ultimate purpose, and that's been very helpful. Thank you.
Fantastic. And also participating in Halloween and Easter, right?
Absolutely.
We had amazing, Halloween celebration in Fairwood. Anybody else? Love to share. And
let me share one thing that I found new therapy to bring down my stress. Yoga was there. So I used to I still continue to do yoga every day. And when you are straight, we breathe, long breathing exercise, something. and third is go for walking. And now new therapy I found is when I'm stressed, I go to play with my grandson.
Ooh.
And it took some. So now I realize that children, you play with children, that is a new therapy that you can calm down your stress, bring down your stress.
Pushpa, I got two.
Oh, you are lucky.
I got two. I can borrow them.
See, that's why we can see the smiles, when the grandchildren grow, then you got de-stressors there.
I mean, I was gonna say I can send mine to you as well.
I found it
That's
is
a
really a
therapy.
therapy for stress.
I was gonna say when you were saying that's a therapy for you, I'm like, oh, that's not a therapy for me.
Not for
My
parents, I
daughter's a
think for
teenager now.
grandparents,
Maybe I
it
can
is a
just go over
therapy.
to
Yeah.
myself and you can treat me like one of the grandkids would be good. I think I need some de-stress.
But I can vouch something as a grandparent because it can be very stressful for parents, but then it's de-stressful for grandparents,
For
the same
grandparents.
situation we handle so differently.
Yeah, that's
Sara,
true.
maybe we almost time, so you may want to capture
We're
some
almost
key
time, but we
learnings
might
from.
run little bit over. I mean, I was gonna post it a question, but like, look, if anyone wants quickly share any recent situation where you may have felt stressed or overwhelmed, and what did you notice about your emotions? Any thoughts with
I
an
would like
example
to
quickly, that
mention,
would be
Jen,
great. Yeah.
if I may. Sorry, I always
Sure.
feel like I talk too much in every webinar I ever go to, but including this. But I'm going to say something, and then I want to comment on something that Jade said during our breakout, if I may. Um, and this also is related to what Diana was talking about. And I do understand the devotion and feeling she mentioned of uh, ownership in an entrepreneurship, and it can really bring out the best and the worst of people. Sometimes it's a lot of stress, and I've had two businesses myself. I understand it, and when the I think I when the COVID lockdowns happened, a lot of people, small businesses, totally wiped out, and that's a lot of stress. And I guess I've had three businesses. One of mine was wiped out too, and reaching a point. So how that I'd worked on it for 15 years, and in 1 month annihilated. So that's a lot of stress, and feelings of despair almost, and you get to how do you come back from disaster? How do you get to the point where you can trust yourself to do things again, or dare just go through all that again, and try to build up something again. And meditation, these the practices people have mentioned in this room so far are good. I think that it began with me to be effective. I tried it before in my life, could never really reach that peace of mind, stopping my thoughts. It seemed so alien for so many years, or yeah, that's how I saw it. How can I get to this point? And finally it came to a point where I just simply had to rest, what I call rest in the presence. You can say in the presence of reality, in the presence of God, how you want to say it, but simply let things be. I mean, what is going to happen? What really? If I can't be here, where can I really be? And I think this echoes a lot of what Diana was saying and things we've said. And it was only then that I was able to learn to meditate. And of course, I have some practices I use, and I think people have different practices here.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to lead in here. I was asking Jade a little bit. Is he still here? I
Yeah,
think.
Jade,
Yeah, he's
Jade,
here. I think
Okay.
he's raised
you wanted
his
to say
hand.
something.
Mentioning using
Wants-
ECG indicator to I guess measure the brain waves, which I've heard of a little bit. I was just asking him a little bit about how that was done exactly. I don't know if Jade cares to maybe
Yeah,
just
I
a
think
little bit
Vinny
about that,
maybe
but I
put
found
his
that kind
hand
of
up.
interesting if you have the tech.
I just
Usually
put
they're
in the
sort of
chat.
out alone, but yeah. Oh, okay, cool,
Okay.
cool.
I,
That's
Jed,
I
great.
just
Thanks,
made in the
Jay.
chat.
Thanks. I
It's
wanted to
a
thank you about that. Yeah.
I'll be quick. I'll try to be quick. I learned
Sure.
meditation about 10 years ago from a Buddhist monk in the Anglican Church at Town Hall.
wow.
It took me about 6 months to learn to really, I'm not 100% perfect, but the first 3 months I used to doze off during the meditation class, and it took a while. What I've really learned from that class, it only cost me $5 every Wednesday, was the breathing exercise. We went on for 1 hour breathing, learning, like take a deep breath, you count up to 10, then you hold it, then you release it, count as long as you can while releasing your breath. And what I've learned after doing that at home using my ECG device, and also I used my mom's blood pressure device to see what happens. I just wanted to see what happens to my body. My body, like every time I meditate, my blood pressure dropped. My blood pressure dropped, but also not just dropped, but after the meditation, I felt really like that calm feeling. And yeah, that was just my experience when I wanted to experiment on myself using a blood pressure device and an ECG device. I just wanted to see how my body reacts to it. And
Yeah.
besides meditation, like to manage the stress, I also go for walks, like probably about 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and I also do weights in the evening, like
Yeah.
weightlifting, bench press. Just you feel good also with the weights, like when you're lifting weights, and yeah, just
And
count.
one other thing I
And
think
also, yeah.
Jed didn't mention
Yeah.
is he's an amazing photographer. So like I know you do it with so much passion, and like we can see that on your face and the way we do it. So Jed is an amazing photographer for anyone who didn't know that.
Probably one of
Yeah,
his stress
I've been stepping back. I've been stepping back on the photography business side. I'm just doing a few. I'm focusing more on the art side of photography, and
Right.
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, that's my experience when it comes to meditation and managing stress, because
Yeah.
the pandemic really pushed everyone. Like I was working
It
and
did.
I was burnt out at work. At the same time, I ended up having COVID, and it was not a great experience. And
Yeah.
being burnt out at work can be overwhelming, because it takes not a day, a week, or months to recover. It takes years to recover from being burnt out. It can race in your mind, and you really need to manage that
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely. Thanks, Jade, for sharing those. I mean,
no
sounds
worries.
like we need a separate session just for this topic, stress. There's so
Yeah.
much to talk
Yes.
about. And I'm so sorry that, I mean, in the interest of time, it's really hard to just keep going. But if anyone wants to share any quick takeaways of the session, please feel free to. I know we are
Yeah,
over
Lilo.
time, but hopefully that's okay with everybody. So if anyone wants to share any
Even a
takeaway,
word, just a word that describes, if you can type it
yeah,
in, I think it's even better. So if you can just type in what is your key takeaway today? Like if you just share that or type it in, that would really be good.
maybe tying it back to the intention that you had
Yeah.
set at the beginning, yeah?
Yeah.
Just wanted to maybe a takeaway. It's a
Uh-huh.
takeaway. Yeah, according to what Jade and Wade said. I think there are two different ways to manage stress. So one is the physical, that we go through breathing, exercising, and meditation, yoga, and the other is the mental way,
Hmm.
which I think is the way how we see things. And as I said before, there is a power there, up there. Everybody could call the power different ways. I call it God. I call it God. And if if something happens, it's difficult. I just trying to learn and talk to God. Say, okay, what do you want me to do with this difficult situation? I just put it on that hands, those hands to guide me and to take me and give me the message. What I'm learning from this. What do I need to improve from this? So what do I need to leave if that's just happening to me? So and just be putting in his hands, and it's all when I say that it's up to it's the not cross my arms and wait because I need to do something about it. But I do as much as I can on my side. But if something is out of my hands, I just need to leave it. I need to leave it,
Yeah.
and will be that's about the mental side, so physical side and the mindset side as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Diana. All right. I mean, if no one else has anyone else want to
Anyone?
say anything quickly
Sara,
before we wrap it
anything to
up?
add? I can see. All good.
Zara, Gulnaz, I know, just picking on
Gulnaz.
people. That's all right.
Not? I think, yeah.
So good.
Very,
Yeah,
very
thank you
quickly,
so
Sarah, I
Sure.
just want to congratulate Diana. You know, I see as community leaders, or I think people in that space where you have a lot of people watching, listening to what you're saying, I think it shows your strength to come up being vulnerable, you know, sharing that at times you do get stressed as well, and what the life has passed on to you as well. So I think shows a real strength in showing your vulnerabilities among others, where we often get, you know, we feel we get judged on being vulnerable and sharing those feelings that we often hide. So I think the stigma related to all these emotions, if we overcome that as a bigger community, it's going to help us, our children, identifying the feelings, naming them. Not all cultures tend to do that. Not all cultures has names for those 108 emotions, isn't it? So I think one step at a time, talking about when we feel low is going to change the scenario, I guess. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
agree. It's
Thanks.
very hard for especially some men to express themselves. I noticed that in many communities, not just in the Filipino community, but in some communities where I think it's a very macho culture in some communities that I noticed also in the Filipino community. You got this drinking culture where they use drinking as a way to express their emotions. And some of those emotions can be dangerous because those emotions are anger. They're angry at something, so they drink to release or to find a way to get that off their heads. And I noticed that with some men, they drink so that they can get those emotions out of them. But there are other ways for them to express those emotions. They can talk to someone, make it simple, less violent. And I think that's our biggest challenge. I just like to go a little bit deeper here. I like going back to how we lived before the Industrial Revolution. We had tribes. Sometimes some tribes we had meetings in the evening before we go to sleep. We sit around the fire and we talk. Or some cultures like in Asia, Middle East, America, Europe, they sit around the fire, they sing. That's another way they express those daily emotions, or they'll talk to their elders to express those emotions, to get some wisdom from them. We don't have that today. Many of us don't have that kind of groups where people can talk to. And it's very sad that the society is like this today. It's and also good and great that we have this community where we can talk to each other about it. But going back to the ancient times, that's that's just based on my readings and watching documentaries and David Attenborough and all these other researchers that even today, I think people still do it today, like in other not in cities, but outside the city. So
Yeah.
that's my piece. So
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Jade, yeah. I
Jade,
mean, I
can
think
I add on that?
Srijana,
I think we were talking about.
Srijana wanted to say something.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, I think,
Uh,
sorry,
oh.
Srijana was raising her hand. I just want
Oh,
to
sorry. Then please.
Hi,
I was just
hello everyone. I'm sorry I joined very late. My name is Srijana. I am a psychotherapist and an accredited mental health social worker, and I work very closely with what you guys were sharing. I just joined late, but Jade, I think you highlighted such a beautiful point. I think we've forgotten how to live with nature, and our ancestors knew that so well. They knew exactly,
Yes.
and it was a knowledge that's just wasn't passed out, and we even if it was passed, we chose to ignore it as superstition or we labeled it in whatever ways we could. But I think you highlighted a very good point, and I see that in my therapeutic space, especially with domestic violence, crime, and all the other modalities of care that I offer. Men not seeking out, and even if when they're seeking out, the continuity of understanding that this is a process that I need to complete, and that back and forth struggle that they face. I think you've just highlighted some beautiful points. I'm so sorry, guys. I walked in late, but I just wanted to say that I really liked what you said.
all right. Thanks, Srijana.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Sorry, when
Oh, thank you. Siana, is that how I'm sorry. Pronouncing. Okay, Siana. Okay. Thank you for that, your insight and everything that I've understood about psychology echoes what you're saying, of course. And I guess what I wanted to mention to Jade is yes, I think that that's really it's incontrovertible what Jade is talking about. And one, I guess the silver lining, maybe if we can say one, is that not merely in communities like this, but also that if we can promote. I see that it does happen, but it's been individuated. Is that the word? Into families. Okay, so the families who are having dinner together, such a healthy thing, right? And making that sort of the sharing time. Now the difference is it's not with the community together, and that's what Jade's talking about, which is valuable. But I guess if I can say silver lining, is that it's still happening within families, certain families, not all families, sadly, but promoting that. We were talking earlier about what kinds of stress techniques do you use? And I think, hey, maybe this is one of the most obvious: is have dinner with your family. Yeah, that's really the point.
Gulnaz, did you want to say any message from all the way from Afghanistan?
Yeah, but Afghanistan is we are living in such a way. You know better the situation of Afghanistan is not good, especially for female. The family is just living here, but the situation is very bad for females. They don't walk freely in the outside of room in the bazaar market and in the house. It is very difficult, but for male is good, but for family is very bad situation. But they are not working in the organization relax, but with living with fear like this. Just the families living not in a good situation. It's
yeah.
So sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to hear.
Challenging.
But thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the courage to share that.
Yay. I think we have gone a
So
little
I
over
think
time
with
today.
that, we'll probably, I mean, I know we're maybe
Good
20
conversation.
minutes over the session, but I thought it was important. I could see the passion and
Mm.
the engagement that everyone had in this session. So we thought like we just let it run for
Yeah.
as long as it takes.
Mm.
But I guess we'll leave it at that, if that's okay. We'll be back with another live session in 2 weeks' time. So I would encourage everyone here to join us again in our next live session. I think today's live session person, yes, online.
No, I was just going to add, like,
Mm.
next session is going to be on strength-based approach. We're going to go a little deeper
Yeah,
into what's
little
strength-based
deeper.
approach,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
discuss more about it. And also, please be on the lookout. I know, like, it's difficult for people who are overseas, but we're planning to bring people together in a face-to-face session as well before the end of the year. So please, we haven't decided the date and the time yet, but we're planning
Yeah.
to do that.
Hopefully we can make it work.
And I'm sure in future we may have something in other places as well. But at this stage, like, let's just start at face-to-face get together in Sydney sometime and before the end of the year. But in the next again few sessions, we will be talking about the strength-based approach, and then the next topic we'll be sharing soon. So please be on the lookout. Let's go to the strength-based leadership community group. That's a place for conversation. So what we cannot finish here, let's continue that conversation in the group, and let's get into that. I would encourage somebody to start driving that conversation in the group, like in the leadership group. So if you haven't already joined, please do join the group. We can share the link. Just get in touch with us and we can send you the link. Novi is not here, I think, otherwise she could have shared, but otherwise I think we can send you the link in case you haven't already joined the group yet. So let's go there and have that continue the conversation. So back to you, Sara.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, let's join and I would just want to add, when you're joining the community group, at least there are like set of questions that I would encourage you to just provide your response to those questions. That would be great, because we then use those responses to then let people in. We want to make sure we are letting the right people into that community group, Facebook group. So I just want to mention that. I think that's it with that.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
very
thank
much.
you everybody again. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was a great session we had today. I mean, there's probably the first time we've had more audience participations.
Yeah, so this was fantastic. I think thank you all for that rich conversation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day and the week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really enjoyable.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, all the way from Thailand and people joining from different countries. So thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye, guys. Thank you.